Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be making a video that I hoped I would get to talk about. Avengers Endgame has officially become the highest grossing movie worldwide of all time. That is absolutely crazy. I know that when it was about to come out or when it first came out, that was something we all wanted for it. It was like the goal. We all wanted it to be Avatar. And for a little bit there, it looked like it wasn't going to happen. And in the past 2 weeks, it's gotten so close, and now it's done it. The re-release with the Stan Lee tribute and the bonus scenes and stuff like that, that definitely helped it reach its goal. But honestly, I'm just so happy, and I really just wanted to make this video, I guess, just to talk about it because I'm just so proud of everyone at Marvel for the fact that they were able to do this. Everyone from the social media teams to the assistants for the people, the actors, the directors, the writers of all these movies, and to the fans who went and saw all of them. Just this took more than a village. This literally took a world to make this happen, and it is so freaking incredible that they were able. It just, think about this number. So Avatar was sitting at 2,789,000,000, which is already a crazy number, and Avengers currently is at 2,790,000,000. That is absolutely insane. And they did make the official announcement at San Diego Comic-Con during the Marvel panel yesterday, which was confusing me because I follow Box Office Mojo, which is like the official site that reports stuff like that, and so I was confused because it said that it was still a few million away, and then all of a sudden I check again this morning, and but people were, so I was assuming at the time that they were getting updated information before the rest of us were, and that's how they knew. I knew it was going to pass it. It was just a matter of when that was going to happen. We all hoped it was going to happen so that they could announce it at San Diego Comic-Con. And it turns out that that was the case. This morning they updated Box Office Mojo with the official numbers. Avengers Endgame is above Avatar, and it is just absolutely crazy how much money this movie had made. And it's still in theaters too, which is also crazy. And I just cannot believe it. And I'm just so proud of everyone who worked on these movies, and I'm so thankful that they were able to give it to us. And I feel like that box office number was a thank you from all the fans, because really we can say thank you all we want, but like making going out and showing our recognition at the box office is ultimately what's going to help them the most and allow them to keep making these. That's the ultimate thank you that you can give. And Star Wars fans are trying not to do that with their boycotts, and that shows a lot about where the relationship stands between the filmmakers and the fans. And I love that Marvel Studios values that relationship so much. And honestly, having Kevin Feige, literally probably one of the biggest Marvel nerds there is, running it all, he's the reason why something like this happened. He is just absolutely, oh my gosh, he just deserves so much. He has done so much for not even just us as fans or for Disney as like financially or just anything like that, but he's done so much for the world of comics too, like bringing these stories to the forefront and developing a lot of new fans too of the comics. I mean, I said in my San Diego Comic-Con panel breakdown video, which recently went up, that I'm gonna have to read a bunch of comics. I normally just read Spider-Man comics, but now it's like I really need to get on this and to read some of the stories of these characters. And it's just so fascinating that this franchise has been able to extend beyond just movies. It's really become like its own world, its own culture, and it's just absolutely incredible. And with Infinity War and Endgame, the pop culture moment, just the phenomenon that it was, the whole, if you have not seen this, you're missing out on a lot of conversations. You're missing out on this cultural moment. And I made a whole video about that, about why you should see Endgame in theaters back when it came out. And it's just absolutely crazy. It blows my mind. And I feel so lucky to have been alive at the same time as these, but like even to the fact that I became a fan, because I was not always a fan. And I just feel so grateful that like I had that aha moment and that I'm a fan now. And I just, wow. And I also feel so grateful that I have existed at a time where I've been able to make my YouTube channel during the whole lead up to Infinity War and the lead up to Endgame and the aftermath of all of that. Like I've been here to cover all of that, and it's honestly helped my channel grow like a lot. And so it's just so amazing, and I just feel so lucky, and I love it. And I cannot believe how much money it's made. And for those of you who don't know, this is obviously not adjusted for inflation. If you were to take into account all of the inflation and then other factors that go into it, it didn't make anywhere close to the amount of money that, say, Gone with the Wind has made. But around the time Gone with the Wind came out, like there was, and a lot of movies actually that came out, not only do they have inflation on their side, but there's also the issue of the fact that following the events of World War II, like literally the early 40s was the peak of the movie industry, and following that it kind of started to fall away, not only because people didn't necessarily want to see movies and what was in them anymore because they had experienced war and all that, but there was also a lot of new cultural stuff that was making it harder for people to go to the movies, aka like the suburbs becoming a thing. Most movie theaters were in big cities, and so people weren't going to the movies as much. Television became a thing, and so why leave and go pay to go to see the movies when you can have a television in your own home? And stuff like that has been obviously getting more and more competitive and developed over the course of the years, and so movies, of course, have been struggling to recover from that. And to some degree, I don't think that they never will get back to the way they were before. But movies like Avengers Endgame really remind people that going to the movie theaters can be an event. It's like not every movie that gets released in theaters is kind of you don't need to see it on the big screen, and other movies you definitely do. Most blockbusters, for example. And I think what Marvel Studios has done, and what's so ingenious about it, is that they have made a system kind of where you have to go. You have to see it on the big screen and on opening night with a bunch of people. And yeah, these movies can be watched in the comfort of your own home, but you will never get an experience like you will if you see it opening night with a bunch of other fans. It's like they took what was so epic about, say, Empire Strikes Back, or just The Force Awakens, which was the return of Star Wars, and they've taken all of that stuff and they've made it into an experience where every Marvel movie you go see is like that to some degree. Maybe not as extreme, but it's just absolutely crazy. And that's why pretty much what I talked about in my Endgame review, is that they really make it an event. And for that reason, they reaped the rewards at the box office. And I just cannot believe how much money it's made. And I'm so proud of it. And yeah. So, and those of you who are wondering why Avatar made so much money at the time, was because it was 2009 and they literally invented their own technology to make that movie. It was absolutely unprecedented what they did in terms of digital effects for that movie, and they honestly still hold up pretty well. It looks really good, and James Cameron is very, very good at making a film that will appeal to mass audiences. He's always been able to do it. He did it with Titanic, he did it with Avatar, and he's just good at it, I guess. And so it's not a surprise to me that Avatar did so well at the time. And it was kind of like Endgame. Everyone's like, wow, you really need to see this movie. It was absolutely crazy. And plot-wise, it didn't have anything really going on that was remarkable. It was kind of like a Pocahontas story. It was very environmentally friendly in terms of its message. It was a very traditional story with very traditional characters. Nothing too extraordinary, but the fact that it made so much money is largely due to its digital effects and how revolutionary they were at the time. It's hard to kind of believe it at this moment if you didn't necessarily live through it, but it was ridiculous. I remember finding out as a kid that it wasn't makeup, like, down the line, and I was so confused. I was like, what do you mean it's not makeup? How is that even possible? And that was, I mean, I was very young when Avatar came out. It was 2009, so I was 9 or 10. And so but I did watch it again recently because we watched it in class because we were studying film and American history, and it's an interesting movie, and it's definitely fun, but it's nothing. It's a very, very, very different movie than Avengers Endgame, and they made their respective amounts of money for different reasons. Because Marvel took the time, and a lot of franchises need to realize that this is what it takes if you want to get that big. And we saw DC struggle with this a few years ago when they realized that they couldn't just jump right into it with Justice League. They have spent over 10 years building up to Endgame, and that is why it made so much money. They spent a decade building a fan base and building these characters and their arcs and their stories, and so when they said Endgame was the end, people needed to see it. And when they said there were massive spoilers, people realized, oh shoot, there are massive spoilers, and they had the box office leading up to Endgame to back them up, to prove that it was a big event. And they didn't just say it was a big event, but everyone knew because Marvel had obviously been building towards it for a decade. So again, this is honestly the most crazy news, and we all saw it coming the past few weeks, but I'm just so happy that I get to make this video and that I get to talk about it. I did see Avengers Endgame again last week, and I made a video about what it was like watching it 3 months later, and I think I might still post it, but I'm gonna have to edit out the parts where I'm like, I wanted to help it get to this much money, I hope it does it, like all the stuff that kind of show when the video is filmed. But I actually, I'm just so glad that I actually went and saw it again in theaters, and I recommend you guys actually go do that too, because it was so crazy seeing it again more removed from the hype. And yeah, I encourage you guys go see it again in theaters. But you can watch that video if you want to find out all about that. It should be up, if not today or tomorrow, in the next few days, because I'm doing a little bit of traveling in the next few days, but it'll be a lot of fun. And I'm so excited to talk about the MCU going forward with all of you guys. I have a whole video talking about Marvel's San Diego Comic-Con panel, and it's just, there's a lot, and I love it, and I love Marvel, and it's great. And thank you guys again for sticking with me and subscribing through my roller coaster going through the process of Endgame from its first trailer to topping Avatar right now. So it's just crazy. I've said that a lot, and yeah. So thank you guys, and shout out to all the fans who make this stuff happen. I'm so proud to be one of you, and shout out to Marvel and everyone there, like the whole team, everyone from catering to costumes to special effects to even just planning the premieres, or just little things have contributed to this box office number, and it's absolutely crazy. And so sit through the end credits of the movie, guys, because those are the type of people who make a movie like Endgame for you, and they deserve their respect. So it is a great honor to be making this video, and I'm so glad about it. So let me know in the comments down below what you guys think about Avengers Endgame topping Avatar. Did you always know it was going to happen, and did you ever have your doubts? How do you feel about Avatar? How do you feel about Endgame? And again, go check out my videos covering Phase 4 of the MCU and Avengers Endgame. I have a bunch of trailer reactions if you want to watch those. They are hysterical. My Infinity War ones are pretty funny too. So yeah, give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and subscribe for more Marvel content in the future. Until then, have a good day, everyone. Bye.